Good evening, Ananda. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2025, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art Sciences and Well. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's sessions and commemorations. Today, we are commemorating World Blood Donor Day. So every year, 14 June is celebrated as World Blood Donor Day. This event serves to raise awareness of the need for safe blood and blood products and to thank voluntary unpaid blood donors for their life-saving gifts of blood. A blood service that gives patients access to safe blood and blood products in sufficient quantity in a key component of an effective health system. The global theme of the World Blood Donor Day changes each year in recognition of the selfless individuals who donate their blood for the people unknown to them. So this year, the theme for the World Blood Donor Day 2025 is Give Blood, Give Hope, Together We Save Lives. So on 14 June, the world celebrates World Blood Donor Day, a global tribute to the millions of voluntary unpaid blood donors who give others a second chance at life. So their generosity saves lives, strengthens communities, and embodies the spirit of solidarity. It's a day to say thank you, but also to spotlight the ongoing urgent need for safe, regular blood donations. So this year we honor hope, the kind you give with every drop of blood, because millions of patients around the world rely on blood transfusions every year. Hope flows through every donation. The objectives of the campaign is to raise public awareness about the critical need for blood and plasma donations and the impact they have on patients' life. So encourage both the new existing donors to give blood regularly, helping to ensure a stable and sufficient blood supply. Highlight the positive impact of the blood donors on the health and well-being of the others, and to promote the values of solidarity, compassion, and community through blood donations, and mobilize support from governments and development partners to invest in sustainable national blood programs to achieve universal access to safe blood transfusion worldwide. So the campaign goals are to raise awareness of the life-saving role of blood and plasma donations, encourage regular donations from both first-timers and long-time donors, promote values of compassion, community, and solidarity through giving, call on governments to invest in sustainable national blood programs. So every donation is a lifeline. 1 unit of safe blood can save up to 3 lives. It takes just an hour to donate, but the impact can last a lifetime. So blood donation matters. Today is also commemorated as Raja Sankranti. From June 14th to 16th in India, Raja Parva, held from June 14th until June 16th, is an Indian cultural holiday and religious and spiritual festival that celebrates womanhood. The first day is called Paili Raja, the second day is called Mithuna Sankranti, and the third day is Budaha or Basi Raja. So to commemorate the final day of celebration, women bath Bhumi, an ancient goddesses, symbolized during the ceremony by a grinding stone with turmeric paste and flowers and sindoor. The woman celebrating also makes offers of all types of seasonal fruits to Mother Bhumi. The day preceding the first day of Raja Sankranti is called Sajabaja or preparatory day, during which the entire environment, including the house, kitchen, and grinding stones, are clean and spices are ground for 3 days. During these celebrations, women take a break from work and wear new saris and ornaments. So Raja Parva, also known as Mithuna Sankranti, is one of the most popular festivals in the state of Odisha and diaspora, and it is dedicated to Bhuma Devi, the consort of Lord Vishnu. And it is a series of ceremonies celebrating womanhood. The state of Odisha, which is the Indian Eastern coastal state, is renowned for its rich heritage and culture. The people of Odisha engage in widely known customary rites, but also of the best known of the rites are the Ratha Yatra, which also takes place in June, and Raja Parva. Raja Parva is a 3-day long festival declared and dedicated to Bhuma Devi, the Indian goddess who can be described as Odia version of Mother Earth. The main aim of the festival is to honor Mother Bhuma or Mother Earth as well as womanhood at large. The legend behind the Raja festival is that the goddess of the earth, Bhuma Devi, around whom with much of the festival is centered, is said to undergo her menstrual cycle during this period, June. The word Raja or Raja is the Odia word for menstruation, derived from Rajaswala, which is interpreted to mean a menstruating woman. So Raja Prabha is a festival that celebrates the peculiarity of menstruation As an aspect of womanhood, menstruation is considered a sign of fertility, and so Raja celebrates femininity and the ability of women to give birth to another life. During the Raja Parva, Odia people lay off all construction works or other activities which involve digging up the earth. It is believed that in doing this, they pay homage and respect to Mother Earth. Today is also commemorated as World Juggling Day on June 14th every year, which is celebrated on the Saturday closest to June, which is June 14th this year. So juggling requires discipline, dedication, and lots of practice. This entertaining act can be done with several items ranging from balls and bowling pins to bottles and knives. The possibilities are endless. People can get into juggling at any age, as the only prerequisite for the skill is passion. Juggling is an old form of entertainment. There's an evidence in paintings on ancient Egyptian tombs where ladies can be seen juggling multiple items. Circuses also had special juggling segments in their shows, as juggling was considered to be a special skill that only a few could master. However, with the advent of television and internet, the art form popularity has grown significantly, and World Juggling Day was first honored in 1995 by the International Juggling Association, IJA. The IJA was officially established in 1947 by a few juggling artists. The non-profit association aimed to recognize the art worldwide and allow for mutual friendship to blossom between groups of artists, and by extension, the ones who appeared. The art itself in the beginning were fewer than 100 IJA members, but as the years progressed, the number of members increased, with the official number being in thousands today. Since its inception in 1947, the organization holds a week-long convention worldwide for jugglers and other circus art performers. Initially, World Juggling Day was commemorated as National Juggling Day. However, seeing the worldwide appeal of the art, the IJA made it more international by renaming it World Juggling Day. Today is also commemorated as Monkey Around Day on June 14th in US, which is an annual celebration which encourages everyone to set aside their worries and toss out their inhibitions. And it is a day just goof off and do whatever comes to mind. Maybe you have a wild idea that you always wanted to try, but were afraid to. Today's perfect opportunity to be brave and safely have some fun. You'll be pleased that you did it today or tomorrow. So go with the flow and spend time idly without being too serious. Today is also commemorated as International Knitting Public Day in US, which is celebrated on second Saturday of June every year. The objective of this day is to showcase knitting as an enjoyable activity to partake in for all ages, not just dotting great grandparents or looking to make a sweater for their darling grandchildren. The day brings with it a sense of community for knitters who often celebrate together knitting in public places to make their hobby more visible, accessible to the public. Worldwide Knit is a public day, was founded in 2005 by Daniel Landis and remains the world's largest knitting event. So knitting happens to be one of the oldest ways to make clothes. The earliest known accounts of knitting dated back to at least 5th century Egypt. Egyptians used to knit cotton fibers and not wool. During this period, it was common for knitwear to have blessings or symbols knitted them to avoid bad luck for the wearer. By 20th century, knitwear had become deeply ingrained into the fabric of modern fashion industry. It was featured in countless fashion collections, from lesser known creatives to well-established luxury brands like Chanel, and so on. Today, knitwear is part of wearable fashion. Throughout the year, the warmer months are full of knitted tops, dresses, and cord sets. The colder weather is made a little bearable by warm sweaters, caps, mufflers, gloves, and balaclavas, among other knitted items. Today is also commemorated as International Bath Day in the US. If you have been looking for a reason to draw yourself a bath, which is a right day on June 14th, is a perfect opportunity. We all crave a long, hot soak in bath after a busy day. It's the easiest way to relax and a great way to enjoy your company. It's very popular day for everyone to indulge in a bath. Actually, International Bath Day is less about enjoying a long bath and more about rewarding yourself with the simple pleasure of self-love by doing something that's just for yourself. It was on June 14th that the Greek mathematician, scientist, scholar Archimedes in the West discovered that an object's volume could be accurately measured by being submerged in water while he was in a bath. Eager to share his excitement over his discovery, Archimedes jumped out of his bathtub and yelled, "Eureka, Eureka," as he ran through the streets of Syracuse. While not all of us are geniuses, International Bath Day is also an ideal for encouraging learning and discovery in children. Bath toys can be incorporated during bath time to teach children about the basic workings of the universe. Today, we are used to comfortable bathrooms with showers, tubs, and pressure-controlled water flow, but not very long ago, bathing used to be quite an uncomfortable experience. For example, in 19th century England, a bath was simply a large cold metal container placed in front of a fire without any plumbing. And in other parts of the world, people had to take a dip in a nearby pond or river when they wanted to clean themselves, braving cold weather conditions and other health hazards. Even as we enjoy comfortable baths in temperature-controlled water, it is essential to remember that there are many people in the world without any access to clean and potable water. So even though it is all right to enjoy a luxurious bath every once in a while, we must also remember never to waste water. Today is also commemorated as Flag Day in US, which marks the Second Continental Congress adoption of the first US national flag on June 14, 1777. The first flag featured the same 13 red and white stripes we see today. However, the number and arrangement of stars have changed as the number of states have increased over the centuries. The current flag has remained the same since 1960. From 50 to 51. Today is also commemorated as National Dog Day, Dog Dad Day, which is celebrated every year, the day before Father's Day. So tomorrow being Father's Day, it falls on June 14th, and it's an opportunity for all dog dads out there to acknowledge the love they have for their pets and strengthen the relationship between pups and their own owner dads. Like all relationships between humans and pets, the bond between the dog and their dog dads is special. The day is recognized so that you can spend time with your dog and give it all the treats it deserves. Today is also commemorated as National New Mexico Day on June 14th in US. This day is observed to pay tribute to the state of New Mexico and its people. The state of New Mexico may be sparsely populated and more desert than land, but it is one of the most educated states in the US. National New Mexico Day celebrates the state and its accomplishment. Not many would know that New Mexico met all statehood criteria decades before it was finally awarded statehood in the US. Today is also commemorated as National Pop Goes the Weasel Day in US on June 14th. This day celebrates the nursery rhyme that we all have been singing since we were kids in the West. Western counterparts, it has been around for almost 3 years now, 300 years now. This day is a great throwback to these childhood memories. Not many would know that the rhyme was a comment on the socio-political scenario during that era and the poverty that people had to endure. Today is also commemorated as National Rose Day in US on June 14. Not many people need an excuse to open a fresh bottle of rose. Today is also commemorated as National Strawberry Shortcake Day in US on 14th June. At the peak of the strawberry season, strawberries are found all year around nowadays, but this wasn't always the case. Previously, it was only harvested in the summer months. Even now, the strawberries that come in summer months are juicier and tastier. Strawberries are eaten in all sorts of ways during the time by slicing, dicing, mixing, and cutting them, at times using them to make something flavorful like strawberry shortcake. Besides National Strawberry Shortcake Day, this lip smacking sweet dessert is also popularly enjoyed on July 4th, Independence Day. Today is also commemorated as Falkland Islands Liberation Day in UK, which is observed annually on June 14th in the Falkland Islands. This day commemorates the liberation of Falkland Islands from the Argentine military occupation in 1982. On the day, islanders attend a Thanksgiving service. Lay breaths at the Liberation Memorial and go to military parade in Stanley. Today is also commemorated as Doll Day in the US on June 14th, especially on Saturday. It takes place on 14th this year. So dolls like miniature people, and every child plays with the doll at some point while growing up. Many dolls have names, personalities, families, houses, cars, and a whole backstory too. A child can spend hours upon hours in the company of dolls and their make-believe worlds. Dolls aren't just toys, but a greater way for children to express their feelings long before they really understand them. So they also teach children the important lessons of friendship and sharing. Children often seek comfort in dolls on sad or lonely days. They can even go as far as saying that dolls can help shape our personalities. Today is also commemorated as Army Birthday in US on June 14th. As we remember its creation in 1775, the army originally consisted of volunteer soldiers with roots to the Continental Army and was formed to fight the Revolutionary War. Today, as the largest branch of the US military, the proud men and women of the US Army continue to provide peace security for the US. So today is also commemorated as Trooping the Color in UK, which is the official birthday of the British sovereign for 260 years, as we go Buckingham on the palace with the Trooping the Color ceremony taking place on June 14th this year. The 2-century-old impressive display of pageantry is a grandiose parade with the King's troops, the household division on horse guards, and King Charles III himself attending and taking the salute. Over 1,400 officers and men are on parade, together with 200 horses and over 400 musicians playing as one. The king will travel down the Mall from Buckingham Palace in a royal procession with the sovereign escort of the household cavalry for those wishing to witness it. The parade is broadcast live on BBC and in the UK. Today is also commemorated as Peli Raja on June 14th, which is the first day of celebration of Raja Parva, a 3-day festival celebrated in Odisha. This day celebrates menstruation and womanhood. The festival lasts for 3 days because it is believed that Mother Earth goes through a menstrual cycle for 3 days and takes ceremonial bath on the 4th day. The word Raja, pronounced as Raja, is from the Sanskrit word Rajaswala, meaning in menstruation. In Hindu calendar, Rajasankranti or Mithuna Sankranti is the first day of Ashadha month, and Pehli Raja Day is celebrated on the day before Sankranti. The first 3 days of the celebration of Raja Parva are considered days when Bhuma Devi or Mother Earth is menstruating. The second day marks the beginning of the solar month of Mithuna, which signifies the oncoming rains, and while the fourth day of festival is called Basmati Snana, or the purification bath of the earth, when Mother Earth purifies herself. So the festival is also associated with fertility, menstruation, and womanhood, which rather than being shunned should be a matter of pride. So during this festival, in the state of Odisha in India, and women are given a break from all household chores and farming. They dress up, paint their feet, and spend their free time playing indoor and outdoor games. Young women also been seen singing songs while playing on rope swings. So Peli Raja was once a tribal practice that has spread to all parts of Odisha and diaspora. The way the festival is celebrated has evolved and continues to evolve, but the premise remains the celebration of womanhood and respect for women in the world. So coming back to World Blood Donor Day, let's look at few commonly asked questions, like why should people donate blood? So safe blood saves lives. Blood is needed by women and complications during pregnancy and childbirth. Children with severe anemia, often resulting from malaria or malnutrition, accidental victims, and surgical and cancer patients. There is a constant need for a regular supply of blood because it can be stored only for a limited period of time before use. So regular blood donation by a sufficient number of healthy people is needed to ensure that blood will always be available whenever and wherever it is needed. Blood is the most precious gift that anyone can give to another person, the gift of life. A decision to donate your blood can save a life or even several if your blood is separated into its components, red cells, platelets, and plasma, which can be used individually for patients with specific requirements or conditions. So what happens when I give blood? Whether you are first time or a regular donor, the blood service must make sure that you will come to no harm by donating blood. This includes checking your blood to be sure that it is safe for the person who receives it. Before you give blood, you will be asked questions about your medical history, including any medication you are taking, and about the current health and lifestyle. You may also be asked about recent travel. For example, if you live in a country where there is no malaria, you may be asked whether you have recently visited a tropical country. These questions will be asked only to safeguard your own health and the health of the person receiving your blood. You will be told whether you are eligible to give blood, and if not, whether you may be eligible to donate blood in future. Any personal information that you give will be kept confidential and will not be used for any other purpose. It is very important to be truthful about any reasons why your blood might not be suitable. Although blood is always tested for infections that can be transmitted through transfusion, such as HIV, hepatitis B and C, and syphilis, a test may not be able to detect a very recent infection. This means that even though the blood may test negative for a particular infection, it might still infect a patient receiving a blood transfusion. After answering the questions, you will also be given a brief medical examination that may include checking your pulse and blood pressure and ensuring that your weight meets a certain minimum. A drop of blood will then be taken from your fingertip to check that giving blood will not make you anemic. Your health is very important to the blood transfusion service, and blood will not be taken unless you can safely give the donation that day. So donating blood is very simple. You'll be made as comfortable as possible, usually in a special chair on a bed or on a bed. The area inside one of your elbows will be cleaned with an antiseptic solution before a trained health worker inserts a sterile needle connected to a blood collection bag into your vein. It usually takes about 10 minutes to donate the blood. After resting for 10 to 15 minutes and taking some refreshment, you'll be able to return to your normal activities. Although you should avoid strenuous activity for the rest of the day, you should drink plenty of fluids over the next 24 hours. So, how much blood will be taken? Will I have enough blood? In most countries, the volume of the blood taken is 450 milliliters, less than 10% of your total blood volume. The average adult has 4 to 5 liters of blood. So, in some countries, a smaller volume is taken. Your body will replace the lost fluid within about 36 hours. So, is giving blood safe? Yes. Remember that you will only be accepted as a blood donor if you are fit and well. Your health and well being are very important to the blood service. The needle and the blood bag used to collect blood come in a sterile pack that cannot be reused. So the process is made as safe as possible. Does it hurt? Just squeeze the inside of your elbow tightly and you will get a quick idea of what needle feels like. All you should feel is a gentle pressure and a momentary pinprick sensation. Blood donation is very safe and discomfort or problem during or after donation is very uncommon. So who can give blood and how often? The criteria for donor selection varies from country to country, but blood can be donated by most people who are healthy and do not have an infection that can be transmitted through their blood. The age at which people are eligible to give blood varies, but is commonly between ages of 17 and 65. Some countries accept donations from people from the age of 16 and extend upper age limit beyond 65 years. Healthy adults can give blood regularly, at least twice a year. Your local blood service can tell you how frequently you can give blood. So, who should not give blood? So, the blood service is concerned with the welfare of both the blood donor and the recipient, that is, patient. Donors are often asked not to donate blood for a period of time in the interest of their safety and or of the blood supply. You should not give blood if your own health might suffer as a result. The first concern of the blood service is to ensure that blood donation does no harm to the blood donor, and you should not donate blood if you are feeling unwell, if you are anemic, if you are pregnant or have been pregnant within the last year or are breastfeeding. You have certain medical conditions which might make you an unsuitable donor. You are taking certain medications such as antibiotics. So you may be able to donate blood at a later time, but in some cases, however, in order to protect your own health, you will not be able to donate blood at that time. So you should not donate blood if it might cause harm to the patient who receives it. Blood can transmit life-threatening infections to patients who receive blood transfusions. And you should not donate blood if you may recently have contracted a sexually transmitted disease such as HIV or syphilis that can be passed on to a patient who receives your blood. Your lifestyles puts you at risk of contracting an infection that can be transmitted through your blood. For example, if you have more than one sexual partner or have sexual contact with prostitutes, you have ever injected recreational non-medical drugs, you have recently had a tattoo, skin scarification, or ear or body piercing, your local blood service can tell you how long you must wait before giving blood. You have had sexual contact with anyone in the above categories. in all above cases, you should not give blood. So can I give blood after vaccination against SARS-CoV-2? No. Consistent with current general global practice, recipients of SARS-CoV-2 vaccines that do not contain live virus may donate blood if they feel well. As SARS-CoV-2 vaccines have been developed only recently in settings where difference would not compromise blood supply availability, the National Blood Transfusion Service may consider implementing a precautionary deferral period up to 7 days to minimize the impact of callbacks from donors who develop symptoms subsequent to donating soon after vaccination. Recipients of live virus vaccines, virus vector based on live attenuated virus vaccines should be deferred for 4 weeks, consistent with current practices. Persons who feel unwell after receiving a SARS-CoV-2 vaccine should be deferred for 7 days after complete resolution of symptoms, or as specified after receipt of a virus vector-based or live attenuated vaccine, which is the longer period. In situations where it cannot be established whether the donor received a live virus vaccine, a 4-week deferral period should be applied. So, how I feel after giving blood? You should feel great for selflessly giving someone the life, the gift of the blood. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. If anyone has any queries, observations, you can share by raising hand or in the chat box. And we request everyone to quickly fill the feedback form, which has been raised in the form of polls. Before you leave the platform. So see you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link with different commemorations. And on the occasion of International Yoga Day, on 21st and 22nd, we are organizing 2 days international celebrations. So where you can participate, share your yoga asanas or meditation. You can demonstrate, you can talk, you can present on any topics related to yoga. So we welcome all the participants, presenters to come forward and utilize this opportunity. So we thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. So see you all tomorrow. Take care. Good night.